Important topic. Good day from the top of Australia. K-Dog, Mighty Mighty DI, and the hardcore superstar Crazy Eddie. Please weigh in on a serious problem within Australian wrestling industry. If a show draws a good number of fans, should the promoter pay their talent? A local promoter regularly draws over 400 fans per show and doesn't pay the talent. The old paying your dues line gets brought up, but I think that's bullshit. Please keep it 100 and give us your thoughts and feelings on this important subject from Dion the Spider D. Schuler. P.S. Get your disco candles boomed. My question is, no, if the promoter is running shows and people were willing to work for free, why should he change that?
Agreed.
Will everybody agree with that?
Yeah, like you make your agreement beforehand. Like Feeney PayPal'd me $100 for doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm going to spend on Felicia's many vids after this.
Wait a minute. Yeah, say so. I'm stimulating the economy.
Yeah, and Conan wants me to send him my live stream reaction.
Himself with the deep chews or blue chews, but go ahead.
Yeah, and then when you're using blue chew, use the code hello. But yeah, these fucking guys should get their agreement set up beforehand. Fuck them.
Well, wait a minute. If this guy's in Australia,
usually, what time is it in Ireland?
It's 11:05 at night, but I don't give a fuck because it's Christmas Eve.
Ow!
11:05 at night. Have you been drinking?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, maybe the problem is where this guy's working in Australia. Maybe there's not a lot of options. So where else is he going to get experience and shit? Maybe he does have to sacrifice because who else is he going to work for?
Exactly.
Bro, if the guy's drawing 400 people and he's not paying you, you're an idiot. So no, I wouldn't wrestle for that guy.
Okay. All right. The next is from HKGR. Subject is, why does the media keep falling for and hyping hate hoaxes? Why does the media keep falling for and hyping hate hoaxes?
Fuck's sake.
The latest involved cadets at the Army-Navy game who were playing the circle game. Yet the cancel culture idiots on Twitter and the propagandists in the media flipped out and speculated they were members of the alt-right flashing white supremacy signs on national television. Here's a few of the prominent hate hoaxes in 2019. Jesse Smollett, the coming in high school kids, the girl in Virginia who claimed white students cut off her dreadlocks, Conan calling into a radio show as James from Marietta, pretending to be a redneck and accusing Disco of being a member of the alt-right and regular Breitbart reader. Did you guys ever hear that?
That was great.
I was doing the TNA media call for the Impact Wrestling media call. Conan got with Ross Foreman and paraded as a journalist, some journalist guy from Marietta, calling up and asking me to defend my alt-right platform.
You know what? I have a feeling that James from Marietta's here today. James, can you like to say hello?
His accent was terrific.
Yeah. So the question is, will the media ever stop promoting this BS? What are the hoaxers in the media hoping to get out of fueling such corrosive divisiveness? Will Conan go on his buddy Hugie's podcast to explain why he did it? So you can kazoo that.
Okay, yeah, no, zero.
P.S. My parents got me a pair of virtual reality goggles for Christmas. Any chance Sapphires will live stream a virtual reality pay-per-view of the hand job of the week? Now that hugs are back on the table, I'd love to get a virtual hug and tug from Disco. This guy's preferred. This guy's preferred.
That is tremendous. I like that.
Let me tell you something. I've thought this is that Google, social media platforms, Twitter, and everything they try to divide you, okay, so they can put people into groups so they can program them. Like if you look at your Google searches, like Google suggestions, like whenever you go on Google or YouTube or Twitter, they have suggestions. You'll see things pop up that like based on your thing, so they can basically, if you can put people in different groups, it's very easy to to feed them content. So I think that's all. Yeah, I think that's all just part of the narrative. Do you guys think that's do you agree that would everybody agree that there is kind of like a subtle brainwashing that goes on with the internet platforms like Google and stuff and things?
Of course.
But it's not just hate hoaxes, it's all stuff. It's like, oh, here's a video of Donald Trump planting a load of roses. Oh, he's a great guy. Or here's a video of Donald Trump having his shit on some roses. And it's all clickbait for all the fucking groups. It's all, every link to every website ever is clickbait.
Plus, you can frame the video to make it look like people said anything.
Yeah. Like, there's this shithead that keeps misquoting Disco online to make him say horrible stuff about Cody Rhodes. He's a great guy. I don't like that keeps happening. Cody Rhodes is a fantastic wrestler. He has great hair. And somebody keeps taking Disco's quotes, the clickbait It's not just wrestling marks.
Just
it's
Kazoo that. He's talking about himself.
politics
Conan.
marks.
Yeah.
He's talking about himself. Kazoo that.
It's political marks. It's music marks. It's like fucking Joe Feeney will click on any link that says Guns N' Roses.
That's a fact.
That's ridiculous. The next one's from Adam R. The subject is Sexy Stars fight. Fellas, 2 weeks and no mention of the Sexy Star victory on the Patron Tito Ortiz card. Feeney, you saw the fights, right? And Conan, why on earth did y'all let her wear a mask on Lucha Underground? Damn, I was kind of a fan for her underground work, but now seeing her face, that girl's money. Anyway, DI and K-Dog, I want to say thank you very much for the tips on selling. Like grabbing the top body part, selling pain in the face, accompanied by a lot of foot and leg movement. Recently had my first match and was asked by some regarding how many years I've been wrestling for. I owe the compliments I received to you all talking psychology and selling. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, filthy animals.
That didn't happen.
No, it did happen. I always talk about it all the time about selling. Here's the main. This is a tutorial here for anybody listening. So like this guy did. When you get kicked or punched or any type of thing, acknowledge the point of impact. Where if you get kicked in the stomach, take your hands and grab your stomach. That's the easiest thing to learn to start selling. It's if you acknowledge you've been hit in a certain area and acknowledge that by grabbing it in pain, which nobody ever does these things. Right.
Well, what about that time we tried to do a neck breaker on Van Hammer?
And he went the wrong way.
Sure.
And the WrestleBots
the wrong way.
No, absolutely not. You could look at that. You got to be an untrained idiot to look at that and think that I'm the one that screwed that up. All right.
I agree with my friend Conan. You went the wrong way.
Well, can you kazoo him for that, Conan?
No, because you did.
That's a
Thank you.
Completely. What about Conan's botch?
Excuse me?
Did we ever discuss this? Conan.
Edit this, Joe.
The spot where Conan did the invisible dropkick to One Man Gang. Did you see that?
Hang on that one.
Did you see that?
Yes.
Yeah, everybody saw that. Did you see how I phrased that? If you look at it, it looks like Conan was trying to drop kick One Man Gang in the left wrist, and One Man Gang pulled his wrist out of the way at the last minute, so Conan just took a bump instead.
No, what actually happened was that match, he was very, very, very hard to deal with because he was losing the title, the U.S. title, and he didn't want to work with me. So when I threw the drop kicks, he moved out of the way.
He did not move out of the way.
He was very difficult.
You missed the drop kick by a mile. I watched it. You were
right.
It was a botch.
You just watched
right?
that. You just watched that. That's all you watched.
Okay, the next one's from Hughie.
Ooh, this is going to be good.
The subject is Tony Shibani causing problems for AEW. So a few months back, I had well-respected, heavily liked, and fact-based wrestling journalist Brad Shepard. That's all fake news, by the way. That whole first line. That's Hughie trying to be funny again. All right. On my podcast, I don't have to give the name. I'm sure my great friend Conan will give it a plug soon. He's a good buddy.
Not true either.
Yeah, one of the things we spoke about was Tony Schiavone possibly causing some heat for AEW. If you listen to his show, What Happened When, Tony and Conrad made a whole bunch of jokes about all the good stuff, such as race, sexual preference, and gender. Now, we know that they're just joking around and don't mean what they say, but the AEW fan base is such a bunch of triggered snowflakes, beta cuck soy boy bitches with tits and beards, and just want to be offended by stuff. So do you think that Tony and Conrad's jokes may cost him a job once the marks have run out of stuff to pretend to be offended by? P.S. The greatest Christmas gift I got this year was from Conan, and that was the gift of eternal friendship.
That's not true.
Oh, that's beautiful.
No, that's not true.
Hughie stick is so brutal.
Okay, do you have any of these
I have no clue what
jokes?
they
Since
said.
I know you read these before you put them out there, do you have any clips of this? Because I don't know what he's talking about.
No, and actually there was problems before where people emailed some things that Tony said on the show to whatever baseball, the Gwinnett Braves or whatever it is, Disco. And so he actually stopped engaging on Twitter for a while due to that. And I think they cleaned up their act a lot after people started doing that kind of thing.
What do you think about people that try to get people's jobs? If somebody says something wrong, you try to get them to lose their job.
Like
what do you think about people like
posting
that?
a clip and tagging people they work with or something like that?
They're just trying to you go after. If somebody makes a misstep, you become the harbinger of justice and try to get them fired from their job.
I
People try
think
to
it's
get me fired from jobs all the time. So
You do?
no, people try to get me
That's
fired
different.
from jobs all the time.
What?
They'll call a place and be like, "That girl does porn. You should kick her off your show."
Well, what type of person does that? Do you know
We can tell
anybody
you.
personally that's done
An
that before?
anonymous motherfucker. I don't know.
Because I know
yeah, Wrestling Anonymous.
I've seen Bix and Span and Satin and these guys try to tag sponsors and stuff, try to get people fired. Bro, I've always just thought people like that
That's
is like
bitch made shit, bro.
who would want to
Brutal.
hang out with people like that?
Not only that, if you're gonna do that, you know that maybe one day you may run into one of them or one of their boys, and not everybody is gonna let you get away with it. So you're also treading very lightly on that line.